Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is gearing up for a third cabinet expansion. This time it will be done keeping assembly elections in a few states in mind. Here's a report.
Narendra Modi's cabinet will get bigger soon. How big? Well, at least 12 new ministers are expected to be included. At present, there are 44 members in Modi's Council of Ministers, 22 cabinet ministers and 22 ministers of state. The cabinet expansion will take place after the present parliament session. The expansion is said to be an attempt to pacify allies that are disgruntled about the composition of the Modi Sarkar. This time, Modi will include leaders from the states that face assembly elections. This has been done with a move to establish strong base in these states. Prakash Javadekar, Ravi Shankar Prasad and Piyush Goyal are some of the ministers in Modi's cabinet who are responsible for more than one ministry. To ease the burden on these ministers, new faces will be included.
Well, there are a lot of portfolios that are still held as additional portfolios by senior BJP members. So obviously the cabinet has to be expanded, and people who are very talented, who can contribute, will be taken in. It's the Prime Minister's prerogative, and I'm sure Prime Minister Modi will do a good job of his reshuffle and have a more effective team, because a lot of ministers are burdened with extra work. So I think it's a good thing.
Some leaders who will be considered for the cabinet are Manohar Parrikar, Rajiv Pratap Rudy and JP Nadda. JP Nadda was being considered for BJP's presidential post, but Amit Shah was appointed for the same, and hence the party is expected to appease him this time. Will this reshuffle in Modi's cabinet create the magic that he is hoping for? Only time will tell. Sanjay Dikshit, News9, New Delhi.
Well, she married him with a lot of hopes and dreams, but her hubby began showing her what hell is after marriage. Here's a report.
She is Rudra, but by no stretch of imagination does she have beastly qualities. She married an SI and now she is repenting. Rudra's mother was in Malaysia, but Rudra was brought up in Chennai by her grandparents. She visited the Kodiyangur police station in April 2013 in relation to a case. During that time, SI Sini Babu took her number. From there started all the troubles for her. Every day he would call her in the morning and also at midnight and speak to her at length. He even began pestering her to marry him. Even when she resisted, he did not give up. Ultimately, they both got married in the Subramanya temple. Some mutual friends witnessed the marriage. Immediately after the marriage, he even got a promotion and he was transferred to Periyapalayam. At the same time, he began showing his true colors. It came to light that he was already married to a girl named Mridula Menon and even had 2 kids from her. When Rudra questioned him regarding this, he began abusing her. He even locked her up in a room and abused her physically. Rudra has now lodged a complaint to the police, but the police are reluctant to take up the matter because it is the name of their department at stake.
Call பண்ணி டார்ச்சர் பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சு ஒரு 3 monthsல லவ் பண்றேன் அப்படினு ப்ரப்போஸ் பண்ணிட்டு ரொம்ப டார்ச்சர் பண்ணி கையெல்லாம் கட் பண்ணிட்டு இல்ல மேரேஜ் பண்ணனும் அப்படினு சொல்லி மேரேஜ் பண்ணி ரொம்ப டார்ச்சர் பண்ணி 2 months அடிக்கிறது ரொம்ப டார்ச்சர் பண்ணி ரொம்ப ப்ராப்ளம் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாரு. கல்யாணம் ஆனதுக்கு அப்புறம் அவருக்கு ஆல்ரெடி கல்யாணம் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னு எனக்கு கல்யாணத்துக்கு அப்புறம் தான் தெரியும், அதுக்கு முன்னாடி தெரியாது. ஸோ இப்போது நான் அவர் ரொம்ப ஹராஸ் பண்ணுறாரு அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஐஜி ஆஃபீஸில் கமிஷனர் ஆஃபீஸில் எல்லாம் கம்ப்ளைண்ட் கொடுத்துருக்கேன். எந்த நடவடிக்கையும் எடுக்கல இன்ன வரைக்கும்.
After she lodged a complaint, she has begun to get death threats. But she is undeterred. She's even approached the High Court seeking justice. Only time will tell what will happen next. Ramesh Kantirava for News9, Chennai.
Well, BMTC could have been transformed had they purchased this bus, but alas, the Transport Authority is in dilemma regarding the issue. Here's a report.
Taking a ride on this bus was nothing but pleasure. They even used to feel a sense of achievement traveling on this bus because this bus is not an ordinary bus. It is an eco-friendly bus. Yes, it was a popular electric bus we are talking about. This was imported from China, manufactured by a company called Utopia. It was plying on Bengaluru roads on a trial basis. But soon, people were impressed by it. In fact, BMTC officials wanted to buy more of it. The cost of one bus is around 2.75 crore rupees. Now BMTC officials have written to the centre to give discount on the exorbitant rate.
ಅದು ಪೈಲಟ್ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಪೈಲಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ 3 ತಿಂಗಳು ನಾವು ರನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಈಗ ನಾನೇ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾಗೆ ಪ್ರಪೋಸಲ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಅವ್ರ ಕಡೆ ಯಾಕೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ತುಂಬ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕ್ರಿ ಇದು. ಬರೀ BMTCಯಿಂದ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ JNNURM ಇಂದ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೆವಿ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಂಥ ನಾವು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಬಸ್ ತಂದರೆ ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಫಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಫಂಡಿಂಗ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ನಾವು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ.
But Ramalinga Reddy, Minister for Transport, feels that the price is humongous to say the least. Even if the government gives a subsidy, the price won't go below 1 crore rupees. The financial health of BMTC is not good at the moment and hence they cannot purchase these buses.
ಈಗ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. ಬಸ್ಸಸ್ಸು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಬಸ್ಸಸ್ಸು CNG ಬಸ್ಸಸ್ಸಿಂದ ನಮಗೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ, ವಿಪರೀತ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಬಸ್ಸಸ್. 2.25 ಕೋಟಿನೋ ಏನೋ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಬಸ್ಸಸ್ಸು. ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಹಣದಲ್ಲೇ ಅಷ್ಟು ಹಣ ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ಬಸ್ಸಸ್ ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಸ್ಟೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು.
The bus, if purchased, would have contributed in curbing the pollution in the city, but now it seems like a distant dream. Will the government come up with a plan to tackle this issue is what remains to be seen. Pavitra for News9, Bengaluru.
Now, after large-scale irregularities in the Anna Bhagya and the Kshira Bhagya schemes, the Motte Bhagya scheme seems to be the next target. Take a look as to what went wrong in this scheme in Gulbarga.
The state government was truly generous when it thought about the malnutrition issue among school children and introduced the Kshira Bhagya scheme. In order to enhance nutritional supplements to children, it launched the Motte Bhagya scheme. The children under this scheme are supposed to be served eggs thrice a week. Other states applauded the generosity of the state government. The question now is whether these schemes are reaching the children or not. Glaring irregularities have been reported from the Hyderabad-Karnataka region as far as the Motte Bhagya scheme is concerned. The region is a backward area with thousands of children suffering from malnutrition. According to a report, in the region comprising Bidar, Gulbarga, Yadgir and Raichur districts, 57,020 out of the 2,68,300 children in different Anganwadis are suffering from malnutrition. 1,757 children are suffering from acute malnutrition. The government has released 57,60,704 rupees in the first quarter of this year, but shockingly, none of the Anganwadi centers have distributed a single egg during the period.
ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲೂ ಹಣವನ್ನು ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಆದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯತಿರಿಕ್ತ ಅಂತ ಎನ್ನುವ ಹಾಗೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ನಾವು ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲ ತಾಲೂಕುಗಳನ್ನು ಓಡಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮತ್ತು ನನಗೆ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಇದು ಫ್ರಾಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಇದು ತನಿಖೆ ಆಗಲೇಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತು ನ್ಯಾಯಯುತವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ನ್ಯಾಯವನ್ನು ಒದಗಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಮನವಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
Women and Child Welfare Minister Uma Shri herself admitted to massive irregularities in distributing eggs. She was seen spitting fire against the officials in a progress review meeting in Gulbarga. The minister said that instructions had been issued to Anganwadi supervisors and CDPOs to distribute eggs among children without fail. She also talked about taking action against errant officials. Will that happen? And will the children get their share of eggs? Sanjay, News9, Gulbarga.
Now, heavy rains continue to lash parts of the state. For some, it was welcome relief. For others, it only spelled misery.
Koppal. Nature's beauty was at its peak in the district. The picturesque river Tunga provided a wonderful sight. The Tungabhadra Reservoir, measuring 1,633 feet, was filled to the brim. The water inflow increased up to 1 lakh cusecs. Minister for Minor Irrigation Shivraj Tangadagi, accompanied by MP Sangana Karadi and MLA Raghavendra, offered Bagina to the river. Hassan. Water came gushing out of the dams of the Hemavati. The inflow was 22,575 cusecs and 10,000 cusecs of water was released from the dam. The place was flooded with tourists who came to experience the scenic beauty.
ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾರತ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ಹಾಸನ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಆದ್ರೂ ಇದು ನೋಡೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಬಂಕ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
The rains which enhance the beauty in some places of the state mask the woes that surface in others. Bellari. Temples in Hampi and Purandara were submerged following heavy rains. The Tungabhadra Dam saw increased inflow of water. 22 crest gates of the dam were opened. Even as the water gushed out, it filled the rivers and flooded the temples. Plants and trees were also submerged in the gushing waters. Chikmagalur. The Malnad region of Chikmagalur witnessed heavy rains. Water flowing from the streams carried the plants along with them. Estates in the district were flooded. The rivers of Tunga and Bhadra overflowed, causing schools and colleges in the district to declare a holiday. Sringeri in the Malnad region received 204.9 mm of rainfall, while Kiga received 179.4 millimeters. In Hariharapura, the rainfall measured 185.4 millimeters. The water level in the Bhadra reservoir has increased with an inflow of 51,662 cusecs. 1,640 cusecs of water was released. Kodagu. Thunderous and continuous rains in Kodagu caused plenty of damage in the district. The streets were flooded. Bhagamandala was flooded as it received 160 millimeters of rain. Madikeri received 122.1 millimeters of rain in the past 24 hours. It was a struggle for school children to commute in the rain. Water inflow in the Harangi Dam touched 9,973 cusecs and 7,180 cusecs was released. The state certainly received bountiful rainfall, but the aftermath was wonderful for some and miserable for others. A News9 report.
Well, do you